Hello everyone and welcome to AI Dev. My name is Nicky Pike. I'm the field CTO for the Americas for Coder. I've been in this industry for about 30 years. I've seen all measures of development changes across the times. But the one I'm here to talk to today is what we're all here for. This is AI. What we're seeing today happening in our industry is huge. We're seeing AI go from suggesting, your next line of code to well, actually, let's do a quick show of hands here. Who in the audience has used AI for anything today? Anything? All right. Now keep your hands up if you've used AI for code generation. All right. Now one more question. Keep your hands up if you would trust AI to go out and handle a GitHub issue for you or do a feature request. Most hands dropped. We still got a few up. That's great. So that gap is what we're here to talk about. So we're living right now in one of the biggest shifts in development that I've seen in my career, and it's all due to AI. So today I'm going to show you what we've learned from using AI and how we've taken AI from a pair programmer to a peer programmer. So before we get started, let's kind of look at how we got here. So in 2021, we saw the release of Microsoft's Copilot into technical preview. 2022, we saw that GA and we start seeing adoption happen. 2023, GPT-4, Claude, a whole host of LLMs start hitting the market. We saw Cursor, which was the first AI-enabled IDE, come out. 2024, Windsurf with Cascade Effect. This was allowing the AI to actually watch what you were doing in real time, changes to code, what you were doing in the browser, and react to those. We saw Devin, which was held as the first actual pure AI agent come out, and MCP. Now, while Model Context Protocol was actually announced in 2024, we actually started seeing it mainline in 2025. In 2025, that's where we're at right now. We're seeing AI as a pair programmer for a lot of our developers. But the question is, how do you take AI from being a pair where I have to sit and guide it to a peer where I can let it go and do things on our own? Cognitive started this when they acquired Windsurf here in 2025, and they had this vision of combining both Windsurf and Devin together to offer both those pair and peer models and modes to you. I imagine that if I asked anyone in here, where are you at on your AI journey, I will probably get as many answers as we have people in the room. The spread that we're seeing on this is we're all at different points in this transition. We're seeing some create, using AI as an auto-completion, as a code assistant. We're seeing some treat AI as a junior developer. But where we're all moving is in the same destination. We're all going to the same place, but the one thing that we've been missing so far is how do we integrate all of these different tools and how do we safely integrate them into our business and our professional lives? So Coder itself is a CDE company. We build cloud development environments. We enable environments as a service that provide normalized, consistent, ephemeral, pre-configured development environments for users. We unintentionally found out in our own, using our own product that we are perfect for AI agents. So we wanted to put this to the test. We created our own agent that we lovingly call Blink. Blink is our agent that we use within Coder. And we put it to work on our code base. We didn't just, do simple things with this. We turned it loose on core platform development, website work, template modernization, registry updates, editor integrations. We let it work across our whole code base for us, and we did this for a period of about 2.5 months. So the real scale of what you're seeing is up here on the slide. We saw, over that 2.5 months, we saw 179 successful issue and PR integrations. Now, I say successful because we didn't accept everything that the agent gave back to us. But we did see 179 issues and PRs across 20 different repositories in our ecosystem. And these weren't toy problems. These weren't structured demos that we've done. These were actual production issues and actual product development that we were letting our agent do this for us. In total, that was about 640 hours of work that was saved. That's 16 weeks of a full developer working 8 hours a day that we saw our agent work for us. Now, what makes this interesting is that we didn't do this outside of our developers. We did it alongside our developers. We were treating Blink, our agent, as a peer programmer. We weren't looking to replace anyone. We just wanted to be able to map exactly what we were doing with our AI and how we could use that as a development partner and see what happens when we gave it real problems. So what was the business value we got out of this? Well, in July, we decided to do a rebrand. And our CEO, Rob Whiteley, came to us and said, I need to bring the rebrand in by a month. So from those 179 issues that you saw, 66 of those pull requests were strictly related to our website and to our rebrand. We let it work autonomously. We did not guide it step to step. This was not sitting in front of a ChatGPT window and saying, please work on this line, please optimize this line. We actually gave it issues that we were creating in our GitHub repository and saying, please go complete these for us. Now, we validated the output. We validated and we corrected where things were wrong. But Blink was our peer in this exercise. It was working as a coworker. A great example of this is we had to create, as part of this rebrand, a comprehensive SEO, search engine optimization data architecture from scratch. We needed to have schema org compliance, JSON, linked data generation, TypeScript integration. Blink completed this whole project for us in 8 hours. Our estimate for that, if we were to put one of our developers on this, was anywhere from 25 to 40 hours. As our partner, Blink and our agent played a very crucial role in our product development cycle. Beyond just assisting us with code, it autonomously identified issues, it proposed solutions, and it submitted production-ready code for our review. It significantly boosts our production development times. If you go and talk to our PM that was in charge of this rebrand, he would tell you, we would not have been able to pull in that month had we not been using AI to do that. And when your CEO asks you to kind of do the impossible and your AI peer is what makes that, it really kind of changes the game for you. And as you can see, we've got some lists. I don't want to go through all of these because we're short on time, but these are all the things that we've done that we allowed our agent to do for us. Again, not play tasks. These were things that we would have our human engineers go and do for us, but we allowed agents to go and do that by way of providing oversight. So when you let agents work autonomously, this is validated productivity gains that you get out of it. A lot of research sources out there are showing that AI consistently delivers 2x productivity when we're looking at documentation work. One of those life cycle things that we don't think about. GitHub did a controlled experiment with 95 professional developers, and they found 55% faster completion times. We look at the field studies that are coming as part of this with the tech writers. They're subjectively saying twice as fast, 3 times as fast, especially when they're using AI for tools like drafting, formatting, or maintaining. For prototyping, McKinsey research is showing that we can reduce development times by 30 to 50%, with some teams reporting a 40% productivity gain when they're using AI. And when you think about that, 40%, if you're a team of 10 developers, that's like adding 4 developers to your team instantly. Code migration. 7x faster for bulk updates when you let AI handle those, because these are known patterns for a lot of these migrations. AI is really good at pattern recognition and being able to tell you a pattern that comes out on top. We're seeing that improvement helps with migrations. This is constantly measured. This isn't something that I'm just saying. When we get to the end, I'm going to have links. You can look this up for yourself. There's a lot of debate right now on where AI fits, and a lot of it is focused on code generation. But there's a lot of things within that development lifecycle where we can improve productivity, including generation, code archaeology, test suites. We need to be looking at AI as a peer that can help us in every one of those things. Now, this does not mean that AI is perfect. We all know it's not. It still needs strong human review. As a thought experiment, we did turn Blink off and we said, hey, go make our dashboard better. It spent 3 hours. It went through and it did optimizations, but it did it on the wrong metrics. It did it on the things that we did not want it to do. It worked autonomously just like we wanted, but it worked on the wrong problem because we didn't give it clear instructions. We found that in complex debugging, we still need human insight into that. Race conditions, memory leaks, performance issues. These are all things that AI can identify and suggest fixes, but strategic debugging decisions, we still need humans in the loop. The one thing that AI is not good at is creativity. AI finds patterns and repeats them back. It cannot come up with creative solutions. Architectural decisions still require that human judgment. Should we use microservices? Is this the right abstraction layer that we're using? When AI works as a peer, these calls still need a human in the loop to help them make and improve what AI wants to do, because AI does not know what good is. That is the goal of the human, is to tell them what good is and to guide them around the long path. What we've seen in both our experimentation with customers that we've worked with, and as well as research, is that most of the AI failures that we're seeing today are not technical limitations, but they're actually communication issues. They're communication failures in how we wrote the requirements, how we guided and told the agent what we wanted to do, or not providing oversight to them. This teaches us that when we are starting to use AI as a peer programmer, that we need to be very effective peer program management people, not worry about the AI limitations at this point. So what makes AI partnerships possible at enterprise scale? We've seen things like Lovable and Base 44 where, the citizen can go out and create applications, but the enterprise needs something different. They need security, they need governance and compliance around this stuff. Traditional development infrastructure assumes that human developers are working on familiar machines. Agents need something different. They need consistent, reproducible environments that can spin up at machine scale and that can run safely. Coder's Development Fabric provides environments as a service. Each AI agent is going to get its own isolated container with all the tools and access that it needs, nothing that it doesn't. That same infrastructure we found that improves human productivity also enables safe AI partnership. Without this infrastructure fabric, you're either finding yourself compromising on security or you're limiting your AI capability. With this infrastructure, you can find that you can scale your partnerships across your entire organization in ways that you may not have even seen. Ways that help beyond the development team, your HR teams, your sales teams. This is where the citizen development comes into play, even in the enterprise. So going back over those validated numbers that we've seen, GitHub has controlled experiments with 55% faster completion times in coding. We've got the McKinsey survey with 30 to 50%. Google reports a 50% to 70% increase in migration tasks. Consistently, we're seeing 1.4 to 3.5x improvements with AI as it sits today. So again, a quick show of hands. How many of you are tracking your developer productivity today? That's shocking, right? So I'm going to guess that if you're not tracking, you don't know how satisfied you are with those results. The metrics that we track today are going to be different, and they're very important when we start talking about AI. Now, on the enterprise side of this, enterprise studies have shown, 50 plus development employments that we've seen. We're seeing a return on investment with AI within 6 to 12 months. When companies come in with a planned purpose and they want to go to integrate AI, they're seeing that 6 to 12-month return, and they're seeing 200 to 600% return over 3 years. That's a huge amount of improvement. And these aren't projections, they're actually measured results from real implementations. The Forrester Total Economic Impact Study on specific AI tools show that that is even a greater span. When you come in with that planned purpose for a specific tool, you can see, returns exceeding 400% over that same 6 months. But these don't happen automatically. You have to prepare for bringing in the AI, and you have to prepare for the fact that AI is going to perform differently than your human counterparts. When you look at things like first time to commit, that doesn't really apply to AI. When you look at lines generated, you definitely don't want that to apply to AI because you can quickly run up to thousands of lines of code. So you have to rethink those metrics, what's important to your enterprise, and how you're going to implement those. The one thing I do want to make clear, developers are not becoming obsolete. They are evolving, just like we've seen skills when technology comes through. We're going to see engineers evolving more into AI partnership managers. This is an expansion, it's not a replacement. So core competencies, writing clear requirements, much clearer requirements, effective prompt engineering and issue management, rapid review of the AI generated code. These are not going to be nice to haves even now, but much less in the future. They're becoming as fundamental as knowing Git. Microsoft research shows that it takes 11 and a half weeks or more to really realize what this partnership looks like and the benefits from it. That is a steep learning curve. But teams that master this partnership are gaining a competitive advantage over their counterparts. This shift is huge. We're going from protecting the code from mistakes to enabling AI collaboration. If you really think about it, this isn't much different than what we're doing when we're onboarding new developers. A new developer comes in, we're going to guide them, we're going to watch them, we're going to be very stringent on what they're doing until we earn that trust with them. This is the same concept with AI. It's just the scale that we're talking about. You know, you want to start with things that are small, that maybe if you're nervous about, turning AI loose on your code, that's okay. Look at things like documentation and rapid prototyping. These are areas where AI can still help, still provide that peer relationship and improve the productivity that's coming out of you, but without the fear of touching your code. So where is this going to lead? We're living, I think, in one of the greatest times in our industry that there are right now. We're seeing this generation's .com boom. 2025 is where we're going to see AI actually become a real programming partner within the enterprise. We'll see that AI can start asking clarifying questions and they can start proposing alternative solutions. We're already kind of seeing some of that today, but when we start seeing this in the next 18 to 24 months, it's going to just keep expanding upon each other. In 2027, we're going to be looking at true peer programming. So we're going to see AI that can start to handle end-to-end feature development as long as we keep that human oversight and that strategic guidance. The human role is going to evolve from being a pair programmer with AI to really being a peer reviewer and a strategic architect for AI. The word engineer in software engineering is going to start meaning something. So for every other engineering discipline that we see, engineers design while others build. Only in software are we seeing where engineers are expected to be both the architects and the construction worker. We're finally making engineer mean what it's always supposed to be, which is the person who designs the blueprint, not the person who lays the brick. This isn't just distant future speculation. GitLab is actually reporting that 15% of their development today is already AI assisted. Microsoft is stating that 30% of their code is AI generated. Now, there is a difference between AI generated and AI created, so let's talk about that after the talk. But we are seeing AI starting to take place not only in the smaller corporations, but the big ones as well. The market is backing this up. We're seeing that the AI coding tools are growing about 26% a year annually, going from 18.7 million now over to 92 to 93 billion by 2030. So we're 18 from 24 months from those AI agents functioning as true peers for us. It's not even a question if this is going to happen. It's happening today. It already is. And what you really need to be wondering is how are we going to lead this transition, or are we going to get disrupted by organizations that do? If you do want to lead this transition, your roadmap. Step one, start with an infrastructure that supports humans and AIs together at scale. You want AI, you're going to need infrastructure that supports endless optionality. As we see all these tools coming out, they're trading places and who's better at certain things. You're going to want to be able to support those. Deploy Coder's environment as a service fabric to normalize those workspaces, the management and the security and governance that goes with them. This provides the foundation that safely supports both human development and AI development by putting the necessary tools that your enterprise has in place with the need to integrate and scale the human-AI partnership. Step two, configure your AI agents with a fabric that's consistent, secure. You want to isolate the environments, and you want to put guardrails around what the agent is doing with proper logging capabilities and audit capabilities. Humans and AIs, as I said, have different needs, but consistency and guardrails are going to be crucial to the success of AIs coming in. Steps 3 and 4, start with small teams. Grab 2 or 3 developers and start with that. Scale slowly. Every time you go through an exercise, look at the results and optimize on those results. The teams that actually go and build this development fabric will be ready for when their peer programming becomes standard. The infrastructure choices that you make today are going to determine what's possible for you and your enterprise in the future. Legacy development forces you to choose between the AI capabilities and the enterprise security that we need. You either compromise on security to enable AI, or you're going to limit your capabilities by trying to maintain your security controls. A development fabric changes that equation. With Coder's infrastructure, you can safely isolate the AI experiments while keeping the security. It's all built in from the start. You want to keep the governance and scale. These are things that are part of the infrastructure. They're not things that we're trying to bolt on or add on later. The fabric provides secure boundary workspaces where AI agents can work autonomously without risk to production, enabling true peer programming. We've all heard the story of AI going out and deleting a production database. That's because we do not have boundaries around the agent. You want to set that up within your infrastructure. That needs to be a part of something before you even start bringing agents in. Organizations that build on this proper fabric will lead the AI revolution because they can experiment. Things are changing rapidly. What's good today is not going to be good next month. You need the ability to have the sandbox to go and play with these things and understand how they're going to affect you. You don't want to be waiting for AI to get better. You want to build the infrastructure that you need so that you can experiment today and that you can scale and grow that within your enterprise. These are the research links I was talking about. I don't expect anyone to believe any of the numbers that I gave out, so these will be made available. Go read these links yourself. You want to see the takeaway that we've got here is that AI programming and AI peer partnership is not just about what the better prompt is, the smarter model, or what the guys on LinkedIn are telling you is best. It's about having an infrastructure that can support AI and humans together, that can provide the base and the foundation that is needed for those to work for your specific business needs. So start with the development fabric as your foundation, and then build that partnership capability on top of that infrastructure. You want to get that right. Those that kind of look at this infrastructure first approach are going to be more positioned and better positioned to come with the other changes and to really realize the benefits that come with the developer productivity, the developer experience that AI is actually leading with us. That being said, that's the end of this talk. We've got about 3 minutes left. Here's the QR code if you want to connect. If you want to see the slides, we will be putting those up on thecoder.com. If there's any questions, we got about 3 minutes to take them. No questions? Oh, we got one right there. So if I understood your question right, junior developer, if you do bad development, AI is going to give you bad development. And how do we solve that?
I meant when you invite the junior developer, after 6 months in the company, it already starts to understand the architecture of your product and how to deal with the errors, what is the common errors. Do you have a vision of how AI can do this?
Yeah, so AI at its core, AI is a pattern recognition system and repeat. So when you're looking at archaeology or your new developer comes on board, the ability for AI to go in and explain that code because it's seeing the patterns and recognizing is much faster than what we can do as humans. When you're wanting to go and look at migrations and your junior developer, you give them a task of, hey, let's break something out into a microservice. The ability for AI to look over your whole code base and find those similarities is much faster than what you can do. Something that would take you 2 to 3 days worrying about eye strain and confusion, AI can do that in a matter of minutes. That's where the benefit comes in. It's not that the code generation, which I think we're all getting tied up on, is the most important. It's the ability to do other aspects, those menial tasks, those tasks that have a lot of effort but low value. That's where we're going to see a lot of the productivity gains coming from AI. Now, as AI grows, we're going to see AI move from being an intern to a junior developer to a mid-level developer. But the one thing that we're always going to need is the human to guide them. And I want to make that perfectly clear. AI is a partnership with us. It is a tool. It does not fundamentally change what we do. When you look at construction, we have a lot of advantages and tools that came out in construction. Circular saws cut boards much faster, but they still need a human to tell it where to cut and why. Same thing here. Did that answer your question? Yeah? Anybody else? All right, well, thank you very much. We'll be at the Coder booth out in the showcase. If you want to have extra questions, please come find me. Again, I'm Nicky Pike, and it was a pleasure talking to you.